Hi everyone, my name is Lauren Dramino, and I will be giving you a presentation overview of my research oral abstract about feeding problems in children with autism. This presentation will look at the possible impact these feeding problems have on the nutrition in this population. This presentation is for the graduate level class Nutrition 5600 at Eastern Illinois University. Here is a quick overview of my presentation. I will begin with background information on this topic, providing definitions of important terms that will be necessary to know for my research. I will then move on to the objective of my presentation, discussing the question I aim to answer. I will then briefly describe the methods used to locate the articles that helped answer my question. I will then go over the results of these articles, and finally, we will talk about the conclusion that will discuss how my question was answered. We will now go over background information that will be necessary to know for my presentation. Autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder, and it is characterized by improper social communication and interactions. These individuals often have restricted and repetitive behaviors that can lead to other conditions such as feeding problems. Feeding problems are common among all children, but it is seen more often in children with autism, with about 46 to 89% of autistic children experiencing this. The term feeding problem has many different definitions, but for the sake of this presentation, it focuses on food selectivity, food refusal, and disruptive mealtime behaviors, such as tantrums or walking away. Food selectivity is the most common food problem seen among children with autism. Feeding problems have the potential to cause nutritional problems, and with the growing prevalence of the autism diagnosis, with about 1 in 59 children being diagnosed with this, it is an important problem to discuss. We will now discuss the objective of my presentation. Because this is an important problem in this population, the question or purpose of my presentation was to assess the nutritional impact of feeding problems in children with autism. I wanted to see if these feeding problems would have any type of effect on these children, whether they be a positive or negative one. I will now discuss with you the steps I took to find my articles. Through the Eastern Illinois University online library, I used the research platform EBSCOhost, where I selected 12 different databases to locate my articles. The terms I used for this research were feeding problems in autism, as well as food selectivity in autism and nutrition. I decided to use food selectivity as another term since it is the most common feeding problem seen in this population. Children was another inclusion term that was needed in order to consider the article, since this was the age group I focused on, since the results could vary for infants and adults. I had a total of 309 articles to review between both these search terms before considering the inclusion terms. And after adjusting for date and duplication, I had a total of 115 articles to review. I also reviewed the reference lists of the primary and secondary articles that I found through these databases to locate the rest of my primary articles. Finally, I utilized Prisma to help organize the methods I used to make it easier for someone to repeat my methods in the future if they felt the need to do so. Now it is time to discuss my results. I located 10 primary articles to use for my research out of the articles from the databases as well as the reference list found before. Many of the articles indicated that children with autism ate a limited variety of food and frequently refused foods. This could be due to the color, texture, or type of food, with fruits and vegetables often being refused. It was also indicated that children with autism often do not eat enough of certain nutrients, such as calcium, fiber, and certain vitamins and minerals. However, there was conflicting results in my articles that indicated that although these children did have limited variety, they were not at risk for any nutritional deficiency because of this. So what does this mean? The results do suggest a correlation between feeding problems and autism leading to problems in nutrition. Children with feeding problems tended to have a higher risk of nutrient deficiency and other problems related to nutrition. But there was still some conflicting results. So more research is still needed on this topic to further discuss the possibility of a correlation between these problems.